How's everybody doing today? All right, so today is Thursday, February 9th, 2017. Here, I want to let you know about a webinar I'm doing this weekend, this Sunday, and a lecture I'm doing this Sunday in the Detroit area. Both are dealing with great African women in history, the mothers of civilization. Great African women in history, the mothers of civilization. So I'm doing a live webinar this coming Sunday, February 12th, 2017, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the information right here on our fan page, the African History Network, and the information is at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. And then on Saturday, February 11th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, at the Jungle Juice Bar, 14929 Charlevoix Street in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan. I'm doing the lecture, Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Okay, so this presentation, I'll deal with profiles of some well-known and some not so well-known African women in our history through different time periods. We'll look at deities or Neteru like Osset, who the Greeks called Isis, from the first holy trinity of Osar, Osset, and Heru, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. We'll talk about Ma'at, the personification of truth, justice, righteousness, balance, harmony, order, and reciprocity. We'll deal with African women in our history like Queen T from the 18th dynasty. We'll talk about Dinknesh, or who Europeans call Lucy, who lived about 3.2 million years ago. We'll talk about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Annie Turnbull Malone, who was actually the mentor to Madam C.J. Walker. We'll deal with a number of different women in our history. We'll talk about Assata Shakur and Angela Davis, Yaa Asantewaa. We'll talk about Katherine Johnson, who the movie Hidden Figures and the book Hidden Figures is partly based upon. So we'll talk about a number of different women, African women in our history, African women, African American women, African women fighting in Mexico and in Haiti and things like this, Jamaica, against the African slave trade. So we'll deal with a number of different periods of time in our history. And this type of presentation is extremely important, so that we teach this information to our children, but especially our daughters, so they have positive images of African women to aspire to as well. Okay, so I'm going to deal with a segment in there, also dealing with how images that our children see, especially our daughters, influence the way they think, feel, act, and behave, and influence what they aspire to be as well. So we're doing two presentations this weekend. Saturday, it's in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan, which is right outside of Detroit, right across the street from Detroit. February 11th, Saturday, February 11th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Free event, donations accepted. It's Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization at the Jungle Juice Bar, presented by myself, Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network. We have the information at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All right, Michael Muse, see you on here. How you doing, Mike? And then I'm doing a live webinar, and people from around the world can sign up for the webinar. Sunday, February 12th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We may go over. We'll probably go over. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Live webinar. You'll be able to ask questions. I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation there as I talk as well, so you can interact with me also. The information for the live webinar, we have it here on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network. It's also on our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. You can register there for it as well. Tell your friends about it also. Presentation is going to totally blow you away. There's some other women that I'm going to talk about. Not even going to tell you about those. You have to tune in to see it. Okay. Thanks to the 306 people who registered for the webinar I did this past Saturday. Should African Americans celebrate Black History Month, exposing the myths? Should African Americans celebrate Black History Month, exposing the myths? Okay, and we have that full DVD presentation. The full presentation is on DVD. It's 4.5 hours. The webinar I did was about 2 hours. Full DVDs on full presentations on DVD is 4.5 hours. It's available at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. And I deal with a lot of history in the presentation. We deal with the real history of African American History Month, what used to be called Negro History Week. It started in 1926, and I deal with why it was created, what we need to do to make it relevant for today and the future. I deal with Dr. Carter G. Woodson and the history of Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Also deal with dispelling myths in our history in the DVD, like was the Black John Hanson president, okay? Because I go through and prove to you that he was not, because he wasn't. Was Africa named after Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus? Because it was not. Did the Emancipation Proclamation free the slaves? And is there a person of African descent on the back of the $2 bill? I deal with the African presence of the presence of the African Moors in Europe, a number of different things. It's a 4.5 hour presentation. So that's available right now at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, okay? And be sure to listen to the Michael Imhotep show today, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will be on live today shortly. We're on the Empowerment Radio Network. So download the TuneIn Radio app, TUNE, download the TuneIn Radio app to your smartphone and search for Empowerment Radio Network, or go to tunein.com and search for Empowerment Radio Network. We also have the information how to listen to the show at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We'll broadcast on Facebook Live here as well. But at our website, all of my DVD presentations are there, all 30 of them. We have documentaries like the Hidden Colors documentaries. We have Urban Kryptonite, the Black Friday documentaries, and we have bundle packs as well as some of my lectures also. So you can order all that at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All right, so here on Facebook we have Katina Brown, we have Ada. Katina's in Milwaukee. Devora Devitt said history, amen, not just history, African history, thank you. Lorraine said you're an inspiration, keep up the lightning work. Okay, thanks Lorraine. Eva Gunnings, hello from Mooresville, North Carolina. It probably has some Moors living there, or it's named after somebody's last name was Moore. But even then, when you have Europeans with the last name Moore, that's actually in reference to the Moors as well. If you want me to do a presentation for your group or organization, email me at info at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, info at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com if you want me to do a presentation for your group or organization. And also at our website, all of the audio podcasts of our radio show is there. We have about 700 podcasted episodes. We have a recommended reading list of books, and you can read all of my articles there as well at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay? All right, so I want to remind you, coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because we're doing a lecture series here for African American History Month. Doing Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Doing a lecture here in the Detroit area on Saturday, and doing a live webinar on Sunday. The webinar is international. People from around the world can sign up. We have people from outside of the country who joined us for the webinar this past Saturday. Okay, so once again, Saturday, February 11th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Jungle Juice Bar, 14929 Charlevoix Street in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan. Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. The information is at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Be sure to bring the youth to the presentation also. And then the live webinar on Sunday, February 12th, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Live webinar. You'll be able to ask questions also. So it's going to be fantastic. You don't want to miss that, okay? All right. Okay, guys, I gotta get out of here. I have to get ready for our 4 o'clock show. We'll be back at 4 p.m. for the Michael Imhotep show. Today's show, we have to talk about Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III being confirmed as Attorney General. We have to talk about Nordstrom's and Donald Trump attacking Nordstrom's for dropping Ivanka Trump's line because of poor sales. We will talk about we'll talk about a story. We'll talk about I think we'll talk about Ida B. Wells today. We'll talk about Ida B. Wells, and we'll talk about some other things as well today also. Okay, you don't want to miss it. Today, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Glenn Stokes said, "Assalamu alaikum. A true want to just compliment you, the inspiration to our young as well as older generation." Okay. All right. Thanks, brother. Okay. Hey, remember, what you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you've been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you read, heard, and seen about yourself. Remember, we have the full DVD presentation at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Should African Americans celebrate Black History Month? Exposing the myths. This is a 4.5-hour DVD presentation. Order it today. We'll have these shipping out tomorrow. And also check out the presentation I did in December of 2016, Ancient Kemet, the Winter Solstice and the History of Christmas. Ancient Kemet, the Winter Solstice and the History of Christmas. And we have the Hidden Colors Family Bundle Pack there at our website also. You get all 4 installments of Hidden Colors, 4 of my DVD lectures, and 1 installment of Afro Man and the Protectors of the Book of Knowledge animated series for kids, okay? Also, if you want to advertise on the Michael Imhotep Show and advertise with the African History Network, email me at info, I-N-F-O, at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Email me at info, I-N-F-O, at AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, all right? Hey, remember, right now is correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.